contribution of Rizal must not be seen as a towering figure over the rest. Because if not without Rizal, then there is no Aguinaldo. If not without Aguinaldo, then the effort of Rizal will be useless. So the same thing happened. They both reciprocated. They have done their part in the attainment of the national identity of our country for the freedom of the motherland. So therefore, they are considered as heroes. They are the people who inspire us. So number 2, Rizal is a notorious womanizer. Of course, I guess that's common, no? That's common. My fellow compatriots here in this room are also known as notorious womanizer. We have Sir Dariel Bungabong and also Sir. They are also known to that. But guys, we cannot just simply accuse somebody as a notorious womanizer, all because they have actually around a dozen of women already entered into their what we call diary. Why? Because the only difference to Rizal compared to the other other heroes is that Rizal, as early as the age of 7 years old, he already have his, or I guess that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are a lot of debating idea that Rizal started to already write some entry into his diary. So this diary are later on preserved that reveals a lot about their past love life. So maybe if Aguinaldo also managed to have his own diary, perhaps you can see a lot of details or information about women there already also inscribed. So unfortunately for me, I have my diaries, but even if you try to dig deeper into that diary, you will hardly see any data pertaining to women there, because really I am a loyal person. So that's very simple. So please, right, my philosophy in life is that whenever there is a kind of some sort of how do you see this, temptation, I just simply close my eyes and pray, asking for the strength from our Almighty God. So as simple as that. So learn from me. It's very simple. By the way, going back, here, Dr. Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines, is not only admired for possessing intellectual, that was according to Joanna Sefra, intellectual brilliance for taking a stand and resisting a Spanish colonial government. While his death sparked a revolution to overthrow the tyranny, Rizal will always be remembered for his compassion towards the Filipino people. Okay, perhaps that is also correct. Rizal deserves to be, that person deserves to be recognized for such, but not the totality. Guys, why do we always have this kind of notion that Rizal is not qualified to be a hero? Why? Because way back in time, guys, we have to equate the word bayani or the word hero is not necessarily the thing that is running into our mind whenever we talk about the word hero. Heroes are different from superhero. Diba? The difference is that very, the disparity is quite big. Why? A superhero is a mythical figure. They are the mythical figure that only exists in our ideal world. While hero is just exactly like you. Now, if you're talking about humanity, if you're talking about people, then it is simply to say that there's always this dark spot. There's always this negativity. Why? Because that is part of being a human person, a human being. Just like us, just like you, just like me. Of course, you cannot say that I am a perfect being, you are a perfect being. We are all human beings. But that thing, that dark side, does not necessarily disqualify us being a hero. Rizal is a hero. Maybe he is not really into the fighting, the achievements of our national identity, but you cannot take credit away from this guy who is actually responsible for the entrenchment of our nationalism. So the same thing happened with Aguinaldo. Aguinaldo, maybe some people would really consider him as self-centered, as murderous, and a lot of these concerns. But really, he's the guy who really lead the Filipino freedom fighters way back in time. So you cannot take that away from him. So the same thing happened with Bonifacio. Some people really consider Bonifacio as a lame, as a failure, in his career as a military tacticians and organizers. But you cannot discredit this guy because of all the people way back in time that has a potential to lead, to organize the resistance, unified resistance against the Spaniards. It was Bonifacio who really succeeded. So we cannot remove that as a credit to this man. Another thing is that look at the superhero. The concept of superhero is mythical, non-existent. What have you seen? Ano bang nakita nating mali sa isang superhero? Diba? Wala. Isa lang siguro, perhaps. Ang ilahang brief nasa gawas. But apart from that, nothing more, nothing less. Siguro nagdali si Spider-Man, nakalimot og brief, takaraglayat dito sa building, and then medyo gilok, ning baking. Nagsulob og brief, mo nang nasa gawas. The same thing happened with Superman and the rest. But apart from that, they are known as a perfect being. They exist only in our imagination. And these things are very difficult to attain. Now, if you are to be considered as a national hero, even if your background is not necessarily that kind of well-qualified, still, if you achieve something for the benefit of everyone, then you are a hero. Some people will really consider you as a superhero, their idol. But that's the very essence of being a hero. So that's perhaps the third of the issues that really we need to unravel before we may proceed to the discussion of life, works, and writings of RIZAL, because it's very unfair for us to discuss something, the life of somebody who really do not inspire us all, who really maybe we have the kind of negativity talking about the name itself. Me myself, I am not an avid fanatic of RIZAL, but really I have to give credit when the credit is due, and this guy deserved my respect. One of the posts here is that ngano pa daw istoryahan pa ng kinabuhi ni RIZAL nga patay naman. Okay, kung wa daw tanan namatay si RIZAL, di na tanan sila maghasol-hasol og study sa life ni RIZAL. You have to then my answer to that is that kung siya kahay namatay, no? And then si RIZAL ang nag-study karon, may hanap ga si RIZAL? No? I do not wish for that person to die immediately because but this kind of idiocracy that really exists is something that really enough to, no? This is a kind of challenge, especially when dealing with the life, works, and writings of RIZAL. So I really admire these people who have contributed so much. But anyway, guys, should it be that you will be also doing the same thing, please do not forget to highlight the source, because it's very crucial. Whenever we talk about historical data, of course, we need to incorporate the source. So anyway, I hope that you are inspired now. We deal with... sorry. I still have one more concerns that need to be discussed. That concern pertains to the notion that RIZAL is actually son of connecting some... this is part of this is a little bit more higher sense, because some historians would really associate RIZAL with Mao Zedong or the Hitler. Could have been daw accordingly, the mother of Hitler happens to be Clara Pulse, is no less than the Maria Clara that was depicted of RIZAL in his novel. But these are the things that I guess needs some documents. We cannot just simply insinuate. We cannot just simply entertain ideas that are actually coming from these wild imaginations. Filipinos are very much scaled in terms to bawa paganit nimo gina-drawing, gikulura na sa uban. So how much more in this? So whenever we talk about something about history, we need to be backed with documents. We need to be supported by facts. We cannot just simply imagine something and write it down, and people would simply believe because you No, that is not the thing that we are actually doing in history. So for now, I guess this will be enough for the discussion on the issues and concerns about results. So, ciao!